Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My beautiful women of Qur'an Now. Alhamdulillah, welcome to the Women of Qur'an Now Tadabbur Podcast. This is a different episode. It's not a Juzz, it's not an ayah. We're not doing Tadabbur in this episode. We are on a break a little bit. We've completed the first season with all the 30 ajza, and I invite you to go back and catch up on it if you are behind. So posted the Juzz, the ayah for the Juzz 30 on Ramadan 30th. So Alhamdulillah, this is a week now since Ramadan, a week and a couple of days since Eid, and we will resume inshallah in another week. But for this week, I still wanted to post something for you, and what I want us to do is kind of do a review. I'm all into this review mode these days. Ramadan is a tremendous blessing that Allah has blessed us with, and I just feel like, we've done, especially, like the last 10 days, I know I was publishing these podcast episodes like on a regular basis, almost every day. And that must be maybe too much information at a go. And so Tadabbur is something where it means pondering and reflecting and going, in depth about something. And so in that process of going to the back of that particular thing to really grasp more, it can't be rushed. And so I invite you to really take your time, reflect, ponder over this Ramadan, over what happened, over what didn't happen, over your mindset, over your moving forward post-Ramadan, over your goals, over your du'as. Just ponder over your life. And so I have this digital planner, Women of Qur'an Now planner, and in there is a weekly reflection, monthly reflection, quarterly reflection. And so in the weekly reflection, I tend to go over, especially the new one that I just revamped. I have a Alhamdulillah list. I have a list of challenges. I have another area where it says my priorities for next week. So when I go over the challenges and I go over the gratitude list, it makes me ponder over my week, right? It makes me ponder over my week. And this is something that is very beneficial. It's very beneficial. So take the time, make time for yourself, that time where you ponder, where you brain dump. Brain dump is another activity that I invite you to do, where you basically put down on paper or on your phone. Basically, you are taking things out of your brain, out of your mind, and you're putting it in an external storage. That will help you to feel relieved. Not only relieved, but it will help you to see things from a bit of a distance, and give you that clarity that you're seeking. Bi'idhnillah. So, just wanted to do a little something with you on this episode that is not really a Tadabbur episode, but it's an episode that is still pushing you to build that muscle of reflecting and pondering, right? Reflecting and pondering, because this is so important. As you go outside of your house, look at the creation around you. As you look at yourself when you're brushing your teeth and when you're taking a shower, look at how Allah created you in an amazing way, right? Look at how you're able to grasp things with your hands, because your thumb is, not at the same level as the other fingers, right? And so that gives you that ability to grasp things. It's just really take the time to ponder over your life. I think this is something that will get you ready for season 2 as we getting ready for season 2. So, but for now, if you want to stick around with me, I have my planner opened, and I am going to finalize my reflections. Today is Friday, and it's after Maghrib, and my week starts on a Sunday. So I'm just going to go ahead and reflect on my week, reflect on what's coming up for me for the following week, reflect on, and do a brain dump as well. I'm in need of a brain dump. So maybe you can take a notebook and start doing a brain dump along with me. I can give you some of the prompts, inshallah, and we can go from there. So this is one prompt from my gratitude journal that says, what are 5 things that bring me joy, and how can I incorporate them into my daily routine? So this is a gratitude journal that I'm working on. I will put it in my shop soon, inshallah. I'm still working on it. But this first question is something we could do together. What are 5 things that bring you joy, and how can you incorporate them into your daily routine? So if I give you an example from me personally, especially because I did this on the 23rd night of Ramadan. So for me, one of these 5 things was seeking Laylatul Qadr. It brings me joy. And because I think about the angels, and I think about the blessings of that night, I think about the Qadr, I think about a whole bunch of things. And so it brings me joy. And so how can I incorporate this in my daily routine when I know there's only one opportunity a year where Laylatul Qadr comes? It doesn't come every day. However, Allah Azza wa Jal does ask us every single day in the third part of the night what we want, right? So how can, what we want help with, if we want to be forgiven. Like he's asking who is up and who is asking so he can forgive, so he can help them. And so to me, that is the way that I can have my joy every day. I may not be seeking Laylatul Qadr, but I'm seeking Allah's help every day, inshallah. So pray tahajjud in the last third is how I could incorporate it. So that's one example. Another example that brings me joy is reciting the Quran. So how can I incorporate this in my daily routine? I can incorporate this by including in my tilawa including in my day a tilawa routine, a recitation routine. And the best way that I've been able to do this, especially when I'm praying, when I'm not praying, it's a bit more challenging because I have to find what to anchor this habit to. But what I am doing when I'm not praying, I do a lot more listening of the recitation. So I play the Quran more when I'm not praying. When I'm praying, I recite more. And so I tend to attach the recitation of the Quran to my salah. Okay, I attach the recitation of the Quran to my salah. So since I have to pray 5 times a day, I have my Quran next to my prayer rug. And so I pray my salah on time, and unless there is something where I really cannot because I'm rushing, there's an appointment, there's a deadline, there's a meeting, unless that, I would usually sit a few minutes after salah and read, even if it's a page of Quran. I would do that. And so if you multiply that by 5, it's at least 5 pages of Quran. And on the salah time where I have a bit more time and I don't have any commitments around that salah time, I would read a bit more. So that's how I've been able to anchor my tilawa recitation to my salah, and how I was able to make it more of a routine. So these are two things that bring me joy. and that I shared with you and how I'm able to incorporate. But now I want you to find out those 5 things that bring you joy and how you can make it part of your daily routine. So this is one question for you. Then you see how it's like making you ponder, right? It's building that pondering muscle, bi'idnillah. Another question from the journal that I'm putting together, the gratitude journal that I'm putting together. It says, what are some negative thought patterns that I tend to fall into, and how can I challenge or reframe them? So let me say that again. What are some negative thought patterns that I tend to fall into, and how can I challenge or reframe them? There's some negative thoughts that kind of repeat themselves, right? And so it's like a pattern. Every time something happens, maybe you think this way. I'll give you an example. I don't do this anymore, but in the past, every time my brother would be calling me, when I saw my phone ring and it was my brother calling me, I would be like, oh no, something happened. Like, I just would go into this negative thought. Like, I had no evidence that there was something wrong, but I'm like, my whole demeanor, my whole expression, I would just be like, oh no, something happened. And I would just like brace myself. Then I said, no, we need to stop this. I have no idea what's going on, right? And so why am I going to go into this really negative way of receiving his call? So every time I would catch myself, and I was like, everything is well, bi'idhnillah, alhamdulillah, and I would pick up the call with this far more positive behavior and attitude. So this is something that I know is a pattern with me. Sometimes, especially in certain situations, I would think worst case scenario. And so what are some negative thought patterns that you may have that you tend to fall into, and how can you challenge or reframe them? Okay? So I hope these 2 prompts are beneficial to you for building your pondering muscle, getting you ready for season 2, bi'idhnillah. We are going to start with Juzz 1. I didn't really want to make this a long episode. I just wanted to get in touch with you. Hope you had a really wonderful Eid, and tell you that stay tuned. Season 2 is coming, inshallah. I do plan on continuing these podcast episodes. I just took a bit of a break, and I wanted to do a little episode for you where you are building this pondering muscle. Ponder over your life, over your week, over your month, over your year, over this past Ramadan. And then you have 2 little prompts that I gave you from a journal that I'm working on. And I will put in the description, I will put the link to the current planner that I have on sale in the shop if you're interested. It's a digital planner, so you can download it everywhere in the world that you have internet, and you can print it, and you can use it digitally or physically by printing it yourself. Print as you go, the inserts, it's up to you. And I will also share with you some YouTube videos where I am using the planner both physically, like by printing the inserts, and also digitally, which is the way I'm using it now. So any good is from Allah, any mistake is from me. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. And I will see you inshallah bi'idhnillah in another episode for another season, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my beautiful women of Qur'an now.
سبحان ربك رب العزة عما